Hi, everyone. And Winston is here. Well, Winston might come up. Welcome, everyone, today to Wednesdays with Whitney and Winston. Hi, buddy. And my mom.
Hi.
So this is Michelle Buck. She is also known as the CEO of the Food Bank of Iowa. Mom, you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Michelle Buck. I'm the CEO for the Food Bank of Iowa, and I'm really happy to be here today with Whitney, Whitney on Wednesdays with Whitney.
Wednesdays with Whitney and Winston.
And Winston.
So we're here today to talk a little bit about the Food Bank of Iowa and the services it provides for our Iowans and how you can possibly get involved. So I'm going to kick it over to Mom, also known as Michelle. And the first question is, what exactly is the Food Bank of Iowa?
Food Bank of Iowa really is it's a food rescue hub. And we work with food producers, with wholesalers and retailers to make sure that no edible food goes to waste, and that people who need it most are getting access to that food.
So when you say people who need that most, or let's start with this, how does the Food Bank of Iowa operate and work? How do you work on getting food to the people who need it?
So food banks were started in the 1960s, and the deal was a guy in Arizona recognized that as he was working in a soup kitchen helping to feed people, that the grocery store down the street was throwing perfectly good edible food into the garbage can. And he thought, well, you know, let's take this food that's being rescued and get it to people who need it most. So we work with wholesalers like Smithfield Meats, Barilla Pasta.
Oh, really?
Up in Ames, they give us a great amount of pasta. We work with Walmart. Walmart is a great Feeding America Food Bank partner. Aldi grocery stores, Target also provides food to us. We move about 1 million pounds of food a month, and half of that is donated food.
Say that number again.
1 million pounds of food a month.
Oh my gosh. And when you say move, you are physically trucking this to places. So can you explain to me the difference between a food bank and a food pantry?
Good question.
Yes.
So we are a wholesale distribution center. At the Food Bank of Iowa, we have a 45,000 square foot warehouse.
Okay.
I've got big racks in the warehouse. It's huge. Come see me. Come to the food bank and see me. And I've got 4 straight trucks with reefer units, that's refrigerated units, and forklifts and the whole thing. So we're getting food in the door. Of that 1 million pounds every month, half of it's donated. So it comes from egg producers, from wholesalers like Barilla, Walmart distribution centers and retail. 30% of it comes to us from the United States Department of Agriculture. So when they want to boost a particular agricultural market, they'll buy up cranberries, chicken hindquarters, watermelons, eggs, milk, and then they distribute that USDA food through food banks, Feeding America participating food banks. And then about 20% of what we move out the door, about 200,000 pounds of what we acquire and distribute every month, we purchase with donor dollars. With every dollar donated to us, we can purchase 4 meals that go out to hungry neighbors.
So every dollar is 4 meals. That's huge.
Well, we really like food drives. We like people coming together to do stuff like that, but really when you donate the dollars, we can be very purposeful, strategic, and frugal. We have a pretty big purchasing power because you go to the grocery store and you buy 1 jar of peanut butter.
Yes.
We order it by the semi-trailer truckload. So we get a lot of peanut butter.
So they get a semi-trailer truckload of peanut butter, which would be a little overwhelming for me.
But it's less expensive.
Exactly. That's wonderful.
For us.
And for those of you who are currently watching, just so you know, we are going to do a little fun giveaway at the end of this. So pay attention to some things, and then we will ask a question at the end. So, Mom, can you tell me a little bit about the backpack program. Who do you help? Like, what is this? I've heard a little bit about this.
So the backpack program was started in the 1980s when a teacher realized that kids were coming to school on Monday mornings, distracted, unable to concentrate, disruly, unable to learn or not ready to learn. And she realized these kids were not able to sit down and learn because they were hungry. And she started sending food home with her kids on Friday afternoon. So the backpack program today is a formal trademark program with Feeding America where bags of food are inserted into a child's backpack very discreetly on Friday afternoons, and they go to kindergartner through 5th grade age students. And the kids that get them are the most chronically hungry that have been identified by counselors and teachers and principals to need the help. The thing that we've realized, we send about 6,000 backpacks out every Friday across our geography, about 6,000
backpacks.
And what we realize is that where there is a elementary student hungry at home, there's likely other children in that household that are hungry, caregivers, maybe parents, oftentimes grandparents that are hungry. So we've gone, we're still doing a lot of backpacks, but we now think it's pretty important to put pantries in schools. So we've started to establish a lot of school pantries. We have one in every part of the Des Moines School District, several in Des Moines, but several across our geography as well. 1 in 8 Iowans are food insecure. 1 in 5 children in the state of Iowa suffer from food insecurity. So we try to get the food to that community hub where we know folks can access it readily, and it's efficient, it's easy, and it's with dignity.
And I think that's it's a big thing that people have a hard time asking for help. You hear a lot about proud Iowans, and I mean, we are proud people. We're so proud of the state we live in. We're proud of the people we associate with. And we are so used to, as a state, taking care of ourselves. We are built on agriculture. We have learned how to provide for ourselves in one way or another. And I think that's ingrained in how we were raised.
Well, I come from a long line of farmers, and
Me too.
Therefore so do you. And the saying always has been that in Iowa we pull ourselves up with our bootstraps. A man just pulls himself up by the bootstraps, but it's a cruel thing to say to somebody that doesn't have boots. And the people that we serve are, well, they're like you and me. Most of them have at least a high school education. They have a roof over their heads, either an apartment or a house. They're working. They have a job. If they're within working age, they have a job, and oftentimes they have several jobs, minimum wage jobs. We see the people. Winston's bumping.
Winston's trying to join.
Hi, Winston.
Okay, keep talking about the serious stuff.
The people that we see, that we help, that come in to see us. Hey, Winnie. We see veterans, a lot of Vietnam veterans. We see senior citizens, people that are disabled, women with children who they're single parent households, are not getting any child support. We see students with high college debt, student debt.
I can relate to that just a little bit.
And we see people that are in the armed services that are coming to get help. In the state of Iowa today, our poverty rate is about 12% in the state of Iowa.
That's high.
And our food insecurity rate, very close to that percentage. Where there is poverty, there's often food insecurity. If we do not deal with the issues around affordable housing, access to health care, affordable daycare, student debt, mass transit, transportation. If we don't deal with those things, the money left, the dollars left for food just shrink and shrink and shrink. And at the end of the month, there might not be anything left. We get a lot of people that come to our food bank or to the food pantries that we work with at the end of the month.
They've made it through the entire month caring for themselves, and it's that last week right before their paycheck that they can't
Their
do
utility bill is due, their mortgage is due, maybe their car payment is due, and they just don't have any money left for food. We work with, Food Bank of Iowa works with partner agencies. We've got about 500 smaller frontline agencies, so we're the wholesaler, the warehouse. Then we get food out to our partner agencies. They might be food pantries, the Central Shelter downtown, school pantries, mobile pantries, rehab centers, the Teen Pregnancy House that's here in Des Moines. All kinds of places. And what the folks we work with tell us is that most of these people, they just need a leg up. And the people I've met, they had a flat tire, they couldn't get to work, they lost their job. So many people are just one flat tire away from needing to go to a food pantry.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Usually these are so, sorry, Winston keeps moving the tripod. Usually these are very light, and I think that it's really important to, obviously, both of us, to talk about some of these things, that these are our neighbors. I think that a lot of times we think hunger is far away from us, but really it's not. And if we really open our eyes, we see that all the time. CISS is right there. I can point at it, and that's a hungry population.
I have a problem with my neck. I went to the massage therapist a couple of weeks ago, and I said, wow, I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been? And she said, well, I had an injury. I injured a tendon on my wrist, and the doctor would not release me to come back to work for a month.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, well, how are you now? And she said, well, I'm okay. But she said, for a month, I couldn't buy groceries. I buy groceries with my tip money from my massage appointments. So the people that we serve are closer to us than we might anticipate.
That as being a self-employed person resonates so strongly with me. I have disability insurance that I pay for every single month, because if I am unable to work, I would be unable to buy food. So that
but we have, there's some great success stories too. We've got folks now that are volunteering in our partner agencies and in a food pantry, because at one point in time they needed the help. And so now they've come back to help others. And I'll just tell a story about your Uncle Bill.
Okay.
My brother, he had two small children. He was working in a body shop in his 20s, and he had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and he thought, what's the future for me and what's the future for my family? So he quit work in the body shop, and he went to school full time, supporting a family of 4, and he used WIC benefits, Women, Infant, and Children benefits, and he used the SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and for 2 years while he was getting his technical engineering certificate, the government helped him with that. Today, he's an engineer with General Mills. He is a deacon for his church. He has taken in several people that have needed help. And my brother Bill just keeps giving. And Aunt Mary too. But at the very beginning, they needed some help.
Mom's gonna make me cry. So how can somebody who is food secure, how can somebody like you and I help? I mean, there's monetary donations, which is amazing, but are there other ways to go about making an impact?
There are just a multitude of ways to help. We work with a farmer in Madrid that's given us farmland, and we need volunteers to help plant and weed and harvest the produce from that farmland. We ask gardeners around the community, not only in Des Moines, but in those communities where we have partner agencies, if you have extra produce, take it to the local food pantry. So today, your Papa Marv.
My Papa. Hi, Papa.
Hi, Papa. You're out there somewhere.
You'll watch this later.
Papa Marv plays golf every morning, and on the golf course there are 2 apple trees. So last year, Papa cannot stand to see anything go to waste. So he picks those apples. He makes some into applesauce. He makes some into apple crisp for us.
Which is delicious.
It's good. Papa, keep making it. And then he takes boxes of apples to the food pantry in Jefferson, Iowa, and they love them. So if you have extra produce, bring it to the food bank or take it to that local pantry that's in your community. We have all kinds of volunteerism opportunities for people at the food bank itself, skills-based volunteerism. Brian Coyne, a friend of mine from Jefferson, Iowa, from high school, contacted me and said, I've got my CDL and I want to volunteer and drive truck for you nights, weekends.
Oh, that's amazing.
So thank you, Brian Coyne, if you see this. Also, we need people that have they might be a Six Sigma process pro to come in and help us create our standard operating procedures. And we also need people just to come in and help sort food. We buy vegetables and fruit in ton totes. So they look like, it's about the size of a VW bug.
Oh my gosh.
When it comes in, it's a big, big tote. And then we need people, volunteers, to come and sort that down into family-sized packages. So onions are sorted into, like a 3-pound bag of onions. Potatoes, carrots, the same way. Potatoes and carrots, those are fun sorting days. The onions, you get a little stinky.
A little smelly.
Yeah, you get a little smelly. We also need people to help with clerical work, accounting work. So volunteerism is so critically important. We're opening up a new volunteer site in the next month or so. We've been moving 1 million pounds of food every month. It's not enough. We know we need to double that, and that's why we've renovated our Food Bank of Iowa, the front office, the volunteerism, and we're working on the warehouse right now. But the new volunteer space will be clean and safe and family friendly, so we'll be able to accept family offers to volunteer together, probably starting in the middle of November.
That's amazing.
If you do want to donate financially to us, we love that.
That's great too.
The families we serve love that. So again, $1 converts to 4 meals. We can be very efficient.
Mom wanted to keep Winston out. This is why, and he wants to be part of this.
He's a little jiggly. We have to get a table here for Winston.
We do, a pedestal.
So that's we look for friends, and we look for funds, and we look for food. So those are the 3 things. We have food raisers, fundraisers, and fundraisers.
Say that again.
Food raisers, fundraisers, and fundraisers. Fund,
friend, food.
Fun, friend, food.
I love it.
So those are it's the triad of what keeps the Food Bank of Iowa working and how we can help 500 partner agencies across our 55 counties, our 30,000 square miles. We serve about 175,000 food insecure Iowans across that geography. And then we work with the other food banks. There are 5 other Feeding America food banks in the state of Iowa, 4 in the northeast corner, 1 along the west side, and we work with them to make sure the entire state of Iowa is covered.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So another way that I'm choosing to give back this month, so family photo season is right around the corner. That's going to be in October when everybody in the world wants to get their family photos done. I'm trying to get a head start on that, so you're not calling me mid-October and wondering what I have open, because usually that's a little tricky. So for every single family that books their family session, it can be any time, but basically I'm hoping to get it activated in September, and you can book in October. I'm donating $100 from every single family session to the Food Bank of Iowa. So that is how many meals, Mom? So
thank you. I'm a CPA. I should be able to do this math. That's
400 meals.
400 meals.
400 meals.
Thank you.
400 meals for every single family shoot.
And what's really great about that is that is you have families helping other families, families helping their neighbors, and I thank you for that.
Well, you're very welcome.
And those of you that book a shoot with Whitney, I think she's really talented. I think her stuff is good. So you're going to get good photos and great memories, and you're going to be able to capture your forever, but you're also going to be able to help your neighbors in need. And I thank you for that.
So, trivia question. First trivia question, how much do we love Winston? He's being a bit of a pain right now, let's be real. So the trivia question, I'm actually going to change it up because I found a fact that I would like to
Go for it.
say. So, the first person who can answer this question is either going to get 25 complimentary Christmas cards from your family session. So if you're already doing that, that's happening.
I want
know,
that.
right?
I want that.
You kind of get that just
I get it anyway.
by being my mother.
I have witnesses.
She has witnesses. She'll get Christmas cards. Otherwise, if you're not a family client, if you're just watching and loving, you get $50 towards whatever you would like from the studio, from me. Like, we'll make it happen. So the question is, ready, set, go. $1 can create how many meals for a hungry Iowan?
That's easy. That is really easy. That's easy. I can't say it though. I can't. I should.
I'm not seeing any answers though. So is it easy? Is it easy? Tell me what it is.
Right there,
One Iowan. Hey, Paige!
Hi, Paige
Yay!
Sanders.
Hi, Paige!
I love you, Paige Sanders.
And Paige, I am so happy. I get to shoot Paige's wedding in such a short amount of time. I'm so excited. And thank you, Paige, for watching and always being a huge supporter of my mom and me.
Yeah, and Paige Sanders has one of the biggest hearts out there.
It's
and
true.
she's a very talented young lady as well.
Awesome. Okay. Love you, Paige. I'll see you soon, and we will find a way to put either family Christmas cards or, $50 to very good use, I'm sure. All right. Thank you, everyone, for...
One thing.
Yes, Mom.
If you want to come see the Food Bank of Iowa, look us up on the internet, www.foodbankiowa.org, or look me up on LinkedIn and send me a message. I'd love to have you come out and visit.
Mom's an amazing hostess, so take her up on that. Bye, guys.
Bye.